From Sacred Heart University in Fairfield, Connecticut, this is The Pulse.
Hello, my name is William Callahan.
And I'm Kimberly LeBady. Thanks for joining us. One of the most anticipated new additions to campus, JP's Diner, officially opened its doors to students last week with a grand opening ceremony. I stopped by to take part in the festivities and see how students are liking the brand new dining hall.
Sacred Heart University has officially opened the doors to their newest dining hall. Well, sort of.
Hi, I'm Addison Chow.
And I'm Tara McCormick.
We are here at the ribbon cutting for JP's Diner.
And we just wanted to welcome you.
It has a 50s theme and promises to bring great food and entertainment on campus. The diner seats 110 people inside and 40 people outside. On the weekends, they're open until 3 a.m. And just in case you were wondering, yes, they do accept dining dollars. Here's what people on campus are saying about the diner. What are you most excited about trying at JP's Diner?
I'm personally most excited about the grilled cheese. And I'm really excited to try the milkshakes.
I'm most excited about trying, I think they have milkshakes. So I really am excited about trying milkshakes.
One of my favorite things is the French toast burger. Classic French toast, a fried egg with a hamburger patty, lettuce, tomato, and a side of maple syrup, which was delicious. You know, I expected it to turn out to be very, very popular. As the new spot on campus, and it really has a very classic vibe to it, we expect it to be very, very busy. Come to SHU Zone.
From The Pulse, Kimberly LeBady, Fairfield, Connecticut.
JP's Diner is just one of many new additions to our campus opening this year. In fact, since Dr. Patillo has been president of the university, 11 new buildings have been completed or are currently in construction. Here is Brendan Capuano with more on the school's recent expansion efforts.
Campus pretty much looked the same until about 2009 with the construction of the Chapel of the Holy Spirit. Since then, Sacred Heart University has grown into one of the largest Catholic undergraduate universities in the Northeast.
The university itself became much more attractive to juniors and seniors in high school. And as a result of that, we saw a surge, faculty and student life, etc., to maintain that quality of student life. And as a result, the little things, at 2,000 students, and certainly now at 5,000 students are still holding doors for folks. Students are still greeting parents when they come into 63, and if they don't have money, the student will get up, I hear it every year, come up and let them come in on their swipe card. There still is this familial community that exists here, and really I think that's the richness of Sacred Heart today. And it was the richness of it before, but I just think now the difference is we're a larger body, we're a wider span of where our students come from. The need for the institution, which is the students, would be more housing and quality housing. We will be breaking ground, hopefully in the spring, for 2 more residence halls, but there'll be apartments for upperclassmen, which will have kitchens, living rooms, 2 bedrooms. More of those to get more of our off-campus housing back on campus, to create, again, to shore up that sense of community of who we are. I think things like Reds and the Diner will bring students back onto campus in the evening, which is really, even in weekends, which is really what we want to do. Addressing some of the student amenities, I think, continues to be the new rec center that will be built and finished hopefully in the end of 19. That's really for non-athletes in there, and it'll be a great facility for folks.
I can't even imagine what it's going to be like in 5 years or even 10 years if this is what has happened in just 3 to 4 short years. They care about us, they want us to be happy and be successful while at school.
I think our interest in the future is to uptick the infrastructure for the students. I think we've been keeping pace, but we need to provide more. And with the advent and the coming of West Campus, we'll provide more opportunities here for space still significantly short of where I'd like us to be, but nonetheless, moving in that direction, it just takes time and land and money.
I do think that Sacred Heart University as a whole, they do listen to the students, so we have needs. But I think what a lot of students have a hard time understanding is the things that we have issues with take time to fix. We can't build dorms overnight. We can't make parking spots overnight. So building garages, building different facilities, different things like that, we do listen and we do respond.
Living off campus at the Marriott hasn't really affected my junior year that much. I'm an RSA at the Trumbull Marriott currently. It's basically like having a house off campus or living off campus somewhere else. Freshmen have definitely been adjusting well, especially considering the circumstances, but I think it's growing on them, and now that we've been there for a while, they've definitely bonded over the fact that they are at the Marriott.
With Tucson coming online, we'll be moving the Marriott students over. That'll help with the addition, hopefully, of 2 new residence hall that hopefully will break ground. That'll be for another 240 maybe students.
But it being new and definitely being back on campus and being so close to Linda's and Red's is like the biggest perk about Tucson.
There is certainly a sense that the university is student-focused, student-friendly. We are all here because of the students. And as a result of that, the culture from the administration and faculty is that, you know, we're here to be partners with the students in their transformation. People feel good about being here, and I think that's...
For The Pulse, Brennan Capuano, Fairfield, Connecticut.
Are You Autism Aware is a campus organization dedicated to spreading knowledge and promoting acceptance of those affected by autism. Their annual awareness walk brings the Sacred Heart community together to show their support for an important cause. Kelsey Orr has more on the story.
Hi everyone, we're here at the Are You Autism Aware Walk. It's a beautiful day. Let's go check it out.
The Are You Autism Aware Club is a campus organization dedicated to raising awareness and promoting acceptance of those who fall under the autism spectrum. The walk is the club's largest event of the semester, attracting many students from all over campus to come out and show their support for the cause.
So we're here with Juliana, the president of Are You Autism Aware Club. So tell us, what's going on today?
We are having our annual Walk for Autism here at the football field. So we have a competition for the organization with the most participation. They get $200 for the organization. So we have a lot of the frats here competing for that, and it's a great cause. So,
what does this club mean to you?
Well, my brother, he has autism, so it means a lot to me. It's something that not many people realize the struggle of, so that's what I try to do, is really make people aware of the hardships that it comes with, but, you know, I wouldn't change it.
While 1 in every 68 children in the United States will be diagnosed with autism, autism research receives very little funding.
For me, I've never been aware of what autism was, and so, you know, I feel like mental illness isn't really talked about at all. So I think it was just a great way for me to learn more about it, and also because my captain is the president of the club and her brother has autism. So it was just a great understanding of where she comes from.
Students enjoyed music, games, and food in addition to walking laps around the track. Through bracelets and t-shirt sales, as well as raffles, the organization was able to raise over $1,000 this year.
What does this organization mean to you?
It means I have a great sister.
Thanks, buddy.
For The Pulse, this is Kelsey Orr, Fairfield, Connecticut, signing off. Back to you, Will and Kim.
You know, it's really great to see the Sacred Heart community come together to support such a great cause.
I completely agree, and it's great to see Juliana with her brother.
Coming up after the break, a look at how some of our women's athletic teams are preparing for their upcoming seasons.
Plus, an in-studio interview with the new head coach of the Pioneers Division I baseball team. Stay tuned.
When you choose to become a part of our Pioneer family, you take pride in our philosophy.
Opportunities, knowledge,
leadership,
Confidence. Trust. It's on us.
to take care of each other on and off the field.
And if we see something, we say something. Sexual assault is a serious issue.
We cannot look past it, because it can happen to anyone at any time.
It's on us. To not sit back, to not keep quiet.
We speak up to keep each other safe.
Because in our Pioneer family,
We protect our friends.
We intervene when they need us most.
It's on us.
It's on Shu.
It's on you.
Welcome back to The Pulse. The Sacred Heart University women's bowling team is back on the lanes. After taking second place last year in the Northeast Conference Championships, the Lady Pioneers are looking forward to another great season. Here is Amanda Nardiello with more.
At Nutmeg Bowl, Sacred Heart University's women's bowling team has practiced weekly since September. The Pioneers have done different drills to prepare for the upcoming season. With the help of spare and target practice, they are capable and dedicated to capture the Northeast Conference Championship title.
spares are the most important part of the game. Strikes, anybody can strike. Not everybody can make a spare. And doing it in practice helps when it comes to competing, because if you're doing it in practice, you're going to be able to feel more comfortable when it comes to doing it in a more pressured situation. And then targeting, like practicing throwing the ball in the same spot over and over again is so important on every pattern we bowl on, because if you're not accurate, you're not going to bowl well.
Anybody else?
Team meetings, led by head coach Becky Kregling, help the Pioneers work together to strive towards their goal of postseason. At last year's NEC Championships, the Pioneers fell short with a second-place finish to NEC rival Fairleigh Dickinson University. As for this year's NEC preseason poll, the Lady Pioneers were seeded second in the conference.
I think that we will definitely have to work hard on the lanes and off the lanes in order to be ready for NEC champs. Every team's going to be working hard. Every team wants it just as badly as we do. We just have to prove it more than they can.
The NEC Championships will be held at Howell Lanes in Howell, New Jersey. But this year's NEC Championships will be like no other.
NEC champs is really important this year because they changed the way it is for you to get to NCAA championships in bowling. So this year you're going to have to win your conference no matter what, and then after that you get put into a play-in. So we would have to bowl another conference championship team, and the winner of that play-in moves on to NCAA championships.
Pioneers will host the Bowl for the Cure tournament at Wallingford Bowl on October 21st. From Fairfield, Connecticut, Amanda Nardiello, The Pulse.
The Sacred Heart Division I baseball team is going through a transition period this year, as their former head coach, Nick Giaquinto, has retired after 29 years. New head coach, Nick Restano, is here in studio to discuss his new position and his goals for the upcoming season. Let's send it over to James Talbot, who is with the coach now.
Hello, everyone. I'm sitting here with baseball's new head coach, Nick Restano. Coach, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
So let's just go over a little bit of background of your career so far. So you started at Lehman College, and then you went to Manhattan College after that, both as assistant coach. And then you went to Fordham, and at Fordham you were there for 7 years as an assistant coach, and then for 7 years after that you were the head coach. And then after that you went to Southern Connecticut, and then you came to Sacred Heart. And we're happy that you're here. We're excited that you're promoted to the new head coaching position. How important do you think that it was that the program basically promoted you from within instead of having to go and find another coach from outside? You were able to just be promoted from within the program.
I think at the collegiate level, at schools and universities that want to focus on academics, student-athlete experience, and winning, it's very important. I think continuity of staff and knowing the people, knowing the players, knowing the university, it plays a big role to keep it within so everybody knows each other.
I agree, and as a player on the team, I would have to say that, you know, knowing all of the assistant coaches from the past years, and now that they're being promoted, and now that we still have that coaching staff, it's really important for the progression of our team. How are you handling the transition from assistant coach to head coach?
I'm handling it fine. I really enjoy the new role. I miss some of the extra baseball I was able to do as an assistant, but I guess that would be a better question for maybe you or some of your teammates.
Obviously, Nick Giaquinto was the head coach for 29 years, and you are taking his position now that he's retired. How are you going to be building off of what he has cemented into the groundwork of this program?
G, did a tremendous job, and he's a friend and a mentor. And I learned so much about the game, about people, about how to handle players from him. So I'll just be using all that to my advantage.
You were at Fordham, like I said, 2005 Coach of the Year in the Atlantic 10 Conference, which is a great honor to have. So how do you compare this experience now as you're going into the head coaching position, coming out of the assistant coach position? How do you compare this to when this happened to you at Fordham?
There were a lot of similarities. I was the assistant at Fordham before I became the head coach. I was the assistant here. Now I am the head coach. So I think I can learn from that in many ways because I've been down that road before. So any aspect of life where you get a second chance to do something, I think you always want to improve and do it better the second time around.
Well, obviously you have a lot of experience. You've almost had, pretty sure, almost 20 years of coaching experience in the collegiate level. How has Bobby Valentine helped you in your coaching and your strategies so far?
Oh, Bobby's been great. I mean, what a tremendous asset. I'm so lucky. I feel blessed to have been hired by Bobby and to be able to learn from him every day, whether it be the intricacies of the game or some technical aspects or mechanics of some sort or just on how to handle players. So my relationship with him strengthens every day, and I'm really fortunate to have him as a friend and as a supervisor.
Finally, what are your goals as a coach and also for our team this season?
My goals as a coach are to make the program as good as it can be and to provide a great experience and represent Sacred Heart University in every aspect very, very well. For the team, I'd like to win the NEC championship and move on to win some regional games.
I agree, and as a player on the team, and I think speaking for the players, the parents, and Pioneer Nation, we're excited to see what's going to happen in this spring. Coach, thank you for being with us today. Again, we look forward to the future of Pioneer baseball. Guys, back to you.
When we return, a conversation with the head of Sacred Heart's Political Science Department on one of the country's most debated political topics.
Plus, Halloween may be over, but who says you can't enjoy spooky snacks all year long? Stay with us to learn how to make some delicious Halloween treats.
I started at Sacred Heart University in 1999.
It's been incredible to see the changes we've gone through.
Clearly we were on a growth path for many years, and I think all the signs were leading towards us becoming a school.
Being a school of communications allows us a lot of flexibility.
It makes us more competitive with other schools.
It's like we've really arrived, and I think we got here because of the great students who came before and kind of brought us to this point.
Becoming a school really acknowledges all the amazing work that our students, our staff, and faculty do.
Students get involved immediately here. You don't have to wait until you're a junior. You could come in as a freshman and get involved. We have organizations and clubs.
It's very much about the future. So it really is about what we can do moving forward. That this is going to set us up so that our graduate programs are going to be able to grow and improve, that our undergraduate programs are going to grow and build.
All that's going to help us do what we've been doing all along even better.
Welcome back to The Pulse. The topic of gun control is one of the most important issues being talked about in the United States today. Here's Phil Ziller with the story.
A mass shooting occurs in the United States every 72 days. From Sandy Hook to Las Vegas, carnage with deadly military weapons. I had the chance to speak with Dr. Gary Rose, head of the Political Science Department at Sacred Heart University. We discussed the issue of gun control and why Congress has yet to take measures to act on this issue.
But from what you've seen, what do you think has been significantly done to reduce gun control in our nation? What kind of other laws have been passed that?
Well, for a while there we did ban assault rifles. Mm-hmm. That was in place for about 10 years. We lifted the ban on that. I couldn't understand why we had to do that. So to answer your question, very little. very little has been done to really regulate guns in this country, and you can really buy so many different guns, you know, from gun stores, on the black market, and we are obviously the most, you know, lenient country on the face of the earth in terms of allowing people to buy guns.
From the NRA to Capitol Hill, we discussed on why gun control needs to be talked about extensively.
There has always been in this country a real suspicion of national and federal power, and that goes all the way back to the early days of the Republic, actually. I mean, one of the first political parties that was formed, Thomas Jefferson's party, was a party that was in many ways opposed to, you know, federal intrusions. And so, and then we could go right on through times, you know, with the Whig Party and then the emergence of the Republican Party. So it's not just the NRA. It is true they have I think a disproportionate amount of influence when it comes to this issue in Congress. Yet at the same time, public opinion and the American people don't like too many regulations when it comes to guns.
What really made this interview important was looking at the different risks that gun control poses, from the negatives of assault rifles to mental illness.
The problem really is more personal as opposed to a weapon. I really do, and that's why I think more and more people are not up in, you know, arms, no cliche there, about this, or that are expressing a great deal of concern about, because I think most Americans realize it's not the guns alone that are doing it. It's the people who are really, in many ways, just very savage, deranged individuals.
As the interview wrapped up, it was nice to get a political perspective of gun control from Dr. Rose. For The Pulse, I'm Phil Zeller, Sacred Heart University.
Thank you, Phil. In local news, Bridgeport's baseball stadium, the Harbor Yard, is set to be torn down later this year, leaving the Sacred Heart University Pioneers and Bridgeport Bluefish without a field to play on. Corey Gittleman has more on the story.
As the school year began and the students of Sacred Heart University returned, it was announced that the home of our Division I Pioneer Baseball and the Bridgeport Bluefish minor league baseball organization, Harbor Yard, is to be condemned in the next year. This leaves both teams without a home stadium to play at nearby, and an unfortunate ending to some of our senior baseball players' seasons. Harbor Yard was constructed in 1998 and served for 20 years as a local option for enjoying America's favorite pastime with friends, family, and fans, but is now empty with less days standing ahead than behind. With the stadium being taken down and a new amphitheater being built, I talked to the Pulse's own Division I baseball pitcher, James Taubel, to get his point of view on the situation.
It's really sad that the Harbor Yard is getting torn down. It was our home for the last 10 plus years. My last 3 years here on the baseball team, we've played there, and it's been a great experience. We really enjoyed getting to play in a stadium atmosphere. It would be nice that if it was on campus, just because it's closer, it's more convenient, but getting to play in a stadium is really awesome. The conditions of the field were always great. Bullpens were really nice. Dugouts were, you know, a stadium. It's really nice dugouts. You know, it was a really nice place to play in general. Since the Harbor Yard has been shut down and, you know, it's no longer playable because it hasn't been taken care of for the last month or two, we have been practicing at Veterans Park. Worst case scenario for us this season is we might play our whole schedule on the road. So we might not play any home games, which would be worst case scenario as a senior. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do, and you're still getting to play Division I baseball. So.
When asked his opinion on what he thinks will come of the Bridgeport Bluefish organization, James had this to say.
I'm not sure where the Bluefish are going to go. From here, they might fold. They might just collapse as an organization. I mean, I don't know where they play. I'm sure their management is looking into that, and you know, hopefully they get to live on to see another day.
I caught up with club baseball coach Chris Kinsella to talk about his opinion on the topic, as well as his thoughts on sharing a field with the Division I team.
Like any other minor league team, the Bluefish provide a great atmosphere. It brings a lot of kids into the park. It shows baseball to a very broad audience. It's very sad to see them leave, but hopefully something comes in to help bring baseball up in Bridgeport. I also think that I can learn things from the D1 team and the D1 team can learn things from us. So the more atmosphere and the more people playing baseball in this area, especially the D1 and the club team together, it makes it for a better experience. A lot of times when we only use this field, it wasn't very good, the grass wasn't cut right, the infield wasn't as good as it looks now. The more people you have using this field, the better it's going to be taken care of.
For now, we will just have to wait and see what comes of Harbor Yard Amphitheater. Until next time, this is Corey Gittleman reporting for The Pulse.
This week, most American sports fans had their eyes on baseball. The Los Angeles Dodgers hoping for their first World Series victory since 1988, and the Houston Astros for the first time ever. Congratulations to the Houston Astros. As Ryan Cosner reports, there's more to baseball than baseball.
Technology's been impacting our lives more and more each year, and this can definitely be seen within professional sports today. In a 3-game series in August, the Boston Red Sox and New York Yankees squared up to continue their heated rivalry when this little piece of technology caused quite a bit of controversy. This device, the Apple Watch, was seen being used by Red Sox athletic trainer in the dugout during the game, in which he would check the watch and then relay specific messages to players Brock Holt and Dustin Pedroia. League investigators have been led to believe that this was all a stunt in an effort to steal the Yankee catcher's signs behind the plate. Although stealing signs may seem to come with the territory of playing ball, this type of technology usage was something never seen in the game before. This scenario brings up a really interesting question. Is technology becoming too involved within baseball today? And are these advancements a good or a bad addition to the game? Baseball has always been considered America's pastime, and was arguably the last professional sport to add the addition of replay or any other technological assistance. But the question is, can we still refer to it the same way? I got to talk with some Sacred Heart University club baseball players to get their opinions on technology in baseball today.
I'm kind of torn. I think it could be a good thing. The replay system takes a lot of bad calls out of the game. You're able to change the game. The umpires aren't always right, but then it's bad too. I think you keep the personality factor of the umpires. I believe that the umpires are there to make bang decisions and what they feel is right, but the replay system kind of takes it out of the game.
I think it's a good thing for the game. Some people disagree just because, the umpire has the final say, but hey, sometimes these umpires are wrong, and that's all right, but having the ability to double check them on that is definitely a plus.
I agree with it. I like it. I think it's changing the sport for the better. I think we're moving in a new generation where we need this kind of technology to make closer calls so it doesn't disrupt the integrity of the game, and the results don't go one way when they should go another and cause a team to win that should have lost, vice versa.
Well, I like replays because the umpires get the calls right, but I don't like how it takes forever. It takes way too long.
Although there are mixed opinions on the use of technology in baseball today, there is both excitement and curiosity for what's to come in the future. For The Pulse, I'm Ryan Cosner, Fairfield, Connecticut.
This October brought us the World Series and Halloween. We hope you all had a ghoulish celebration and plenty of tricks and treats. We visited Fake Asian before the holiday to show us some spooky snack recipes that you can try next year.
Today I'm joined by my guest, Eric Tisso. Eric, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Faye, thank you. I'm super excited to be here and I'm ready to get started.
Great, let's begin. Halloween is just around the corner, so I wanted to show you 2 quick and easy snack recipes for some Halloween fun. Whether your plans for Halloween are watching scary movies or having some friends over for a ghouls night, these snacks will take your party from a graveyard smash to a monster mash. According to our friends at the recipe website, momtastic.com, these are the best last-minute Halloween snacks this year. Let's begin. What you will need for this recipe is pretzel sticks, milk chocolate, white chocolate, and a toothpick. The first step is to melt the white chocolate and then to spread it onto the pretzel.
The next step is to put the pretzels with the white chocolate on them in the fridge for 15 minutes to dry. While the white chocolate is drying, it's time to melt the milk chocolate.
The last step is to dip a toothpick into the milk chocolate in order to make a ghost face onto the pretzel, just like this. Our next Halloween treat is just as delicious and simple as the first. This snack is Silly Frankenstein Smiles. What you need are apple slices, peanut butter, and mini marshmallows.
First, we are going to take these pre-cut apple slices and put peanut butter on both sides of them. I'm so excited. These are gonna come out really good.
Me too. I can't wait to see them.
See like the Frankenstein smile and like see how like similar it looks.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Then on one side of the apple slice, we are going to add the mini marshmallows to represent Frankenstein's teeth.
After this step, we are going to put them together in order to finish our Frankenstein smile. Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you for joining us with Filet with Faye, and we hope to see you next time. That was really fun.
Those snacks look amazing.
I can't wait to try some after the show.
That's all the time we have for today. I'm Kimberly LeBeatty.
And I'm William Callahan. We'll see you next time on The Pulse.